Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Susan Clowdus, and I reside at 123 Prestwick Way South, Stockbridge, Georgia, in the Villages at Eagles Landing, which is directly adjacent to the proposed rezoning. My husband and I have lived in the community for 19 years. We've been members of the country club for 29, so we were there when it was the Eagles Landing Inn. Tonight, I wear a couple of different hats. I am chair of the board for the Board of Governors for Eagles Landing Country Club. I spoke today to the owner of Eagles Landing Country Club, and they stand in full support of the rezoning of this property to a boutique hotel. I also wear the hat of president of the board at the Villages Property Owners Association. While I can't speak for all of the residents there, I can speak to the board members who I've individually polled, and they are in full support of the rezoning. As I have been around Stockbridge for a long time, I have watched the growth happen in the last 4 to 5 years. The question I would ask is, why do people pay to go to a Ritz-Carlton when there is a Hilton right down the street? The reason is people want a more upscale experience. I truly believe from what I have read and what I have observed from the applicant who wants to open up the inn at Eagles Landing, rezone it to that boutique hotel, that this will be a step in just elevating the city of Stockbridge to where all the residents want it to be. We want to be that city that we look at on the north side and other areas to be in competition with them in terms of what we have to offer. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight, and it is our hope that we can move forward with this next step in the...
So I have 3 individuals. All right. I guess the clock is restarted. Ms. Holliday, ma'am, could you come to the mic and give your name and address, please?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Melinda Childs. I am from Stockbridge. I live at 113 Ventura Trail. I'm also employed at this present time at Golden Crest. I'm trying not to get emotional, so if you could just work with me.
All right.
I hear about the lavish things that everyone wants to bring to Stockbridge, but I'm not hearing about the compassion when it comes to the residents that reside at Golden Crest. What a time we are living in right now with this inflation. Not everybody has the luxury of up and moving in 30 days, nor do they have the luxury of moving in 60 days. We didn't talk about what's provided at Golden Crest. When you say that you don't have the money, we provide love. We provide a family. This is their home. Could you imagine being forced out of your home, because this is a home for some people, because people want luxury over comfortability? What hurt me the most is that when I have taken these residents over the time since the sign went up, we did not have 19 when the sign went up. We had over 30. We had about 36. But the fear of being homeless drove some out. And those that cannot leave, as they said, there are openings. There are people still waiting. But there are people that are waiting for an answer today. And they're not waiting for us to come back and say that you have to go. They're waiting for us to come back to say that you can stay in your home. That is all that I have to say today, is that I'm more concerned about them still having a home than someone having luxury.
Thank you. Next individual, name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Sophia Oliver. I'm at 113 Valerie Court. I'm here in Stockbridge as well. I've been nursing 32 years. I've been doing this a long time. I was at Golden Crest 7 years. I left for a year and came back. The the facility was a hotel before. I get it. I understand. I know right now, this young lady want to turn it into another hotel. Didn't work the first time. Prayerfully, I don't know. My thing is the residents, they say that facilities are close by. Everybody is full to capacity. We already been checking around for that. The Benton House is full. Both Oaks are full to capacity. These people have nowhere to go. My thing is, if you're gonna close it down, close it down. I don't care. But my thing is, they don't have nowhere to go right now. I got residents at my facility I don't even have family members that come see them. We their family. If I had a house big enough, I'd take them all home with me. That's just how I feel right now. I mean, I know y'all gonna do whatever y'all wanna do regardless. I got families that's been there, family members here that come to support what we got going on right now. It just hurt my heart to know that you got people that's honestly want to turn this back into. I was there yesterday, the whole weekend, when the golf people was up there hitting it with the music. I was out there looking and seeing how things were. I get it. If y'all want a hotel that bad, turn your country club into a hotel and do it like that. That's how I feel about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, please, your name and address.
Good evening.
Evening.
Bruce Meadows, I live at 30 Indian Open Court, Stockbridge, Georgia. I do want to start first by saying that I do appreciate the concept. I appreciate what's being proposed, and I appreciate the excellence of the country club and the area and the Eagles Landing community. But I do want to point out that my mother is an 82-year-old dementia patient, and she is a resident at Golden Crest. I do also want to point out that hearing tonight that the facility is in such turmoil that it will close definitely is the first that we've heard about it. We've not been told that at all. So to come here in a public hearing and hear that soon the facility will be shut down with no notice whatsoever, that to me shows a level of non-compassion towards not only just the residents, but their families and the entire community. And I feel like there's been somewhat of a whitewash, potentially, of what actually the plan is. And again, I do respect progress. I understand it's a necessity. I understand the need for the development. I get it. And I understand the financial impact that it would have. That part I don't deny. But this next part I do want to read because I will get emotional about it. But I just do want to say that this is more than just a facility for memory care. This is a community. And if you're familiar at all with the effects of dementia, you know that one of the key components for a smooth management and transition on a day-to-day is that of consistency. What this community provides for not only the residents, but for their families and the staff is a sense of consistency in community. When any or all of that is thrown into disarray, nothing but confusion, chaos, and overall uncertainty are the results. Many of the residents in this Golden Crest do not have families to support them, so their fellow residents and the staff have become their family. And the staff, in many ways, become their only support system, and they are the consistency that they require in their lives to thrive, or in some cases, to simply exist while dealing with this horrendous, debilitating disease. In a cultural climate where divisiveness is the norm, what are we to say to our loved ones when suddenly their home is taken from them and their solidarity, self-esteem, and independence, not to mention their levels of confidence and support, are ripped from them simply by the desire for a boutique hotel? For those who have lived their entire lives through adversity, struggles, fights for equality, equity, and inclusion, turning against them in their golden years when they need us the most will only serve to discredit their entire life's work and their worthiness by tossing them aside. Upon viewing Golden Crest, when we toured all of the communities that you mentioned, we toured when looking for a place for my mother to be. When she walked in the doors of Golden Crest, the first thing out of her mouth was, "This feels like home." She had been adamant that leading up to all of this, I have a house, I don't need to go anywhere, I'm going to stay home, figure out home care. But we didn't have that financial situation to where we could afford home health care. And it is true that, okay, maybe there are other spaces available, I don't know the exact, but the price range is quite higher than what is offered at Golden Crest. And my mother and her husband do not have the affordability to be moved to a new space. If they're willing to honor their contract and provide the rate that they contracted for, then that could be an option. Yes, I think that needs to be looked at. But like I said, there's been no communication from the owner of the facility to the staff, to the residents, to their families. So that part of it makes me very, very leery as to what bill of goods has been sold. So I'll finish with that. And again, I just want to say, I do respect the Eagles Landing community. I understand its significance in the area and in the state. But I do also hope that you guys will consider